And when, you know how they finally found out? When you sent me the books. My dad passed away on September the 11th, 1986. And the wing commander at the time at Eglin would allow me to take an airplane to MacDill, and then I could drive over because my dad was in Winter Haven and he was terminally ill. And so I could go down there on the weekends. And I remember talking to the wing commander at the time, who ended up being a 4-star. And I said, you know, my dad probably doesn't have a month or two left, but he has always asked what I used to do when I couldn't tell him. And he goes, tell him. So that was cool. You know, I got to sit down and talk to him about it. You know, he didn't have a clue what I was talking about. And I got to talk to him about it. My kids, they always asked, when you going to, even when they were getting older, my daddy did spy shit. He won't tell us what he did. When you going to tell us? When you going to tell us? And when, you know how they finally found out? When you sent me the books. I never told them, even after the interviews, when you sent me the books, and I told you how many I needed. I said, I need 5 books. And you sent me 7 books. And so you signed them and all that stuff, and you sent them to me. And so I sent them to all these kids, and they get them. And it wasn't 2 days later. Even my wife at the time, they're going, holy crap. And they're calling, going, what? Why didn't you tell him? And I'm going, because I couldn't talk about it, but I could talk to him. Well, yeah, but you talked to him before you told us. I said, well, it means more for you to see it in print than it does for me to just sit down and tell you. So they found out when I sent them your book. In fact, when I go see them, one lives in Charleston, one lives up in Columbus, Ohio, and one lives in Boulder, Colorado. When I go in and we sit around and watch TV and shit, it's sitting right there on the shelf. It's amazing.